Good morning and welcome to Peace Out, where we are all learning together to peace out. And I hope that you're not having as many opportunities as I am to practice that. I hope things are going really well in your world, and it's not it's not this huge struggle, right? But you know what? The struggles, just if we leverage them and use them, they'll drive us right back to Him. Right? And we learn to trust Him more. We learn more what He's given us, what He accomplished on the cross. We learn to let His peace reign in our hearts. I mean, the struggles are what builds our character. Matter of fact, James says, be happy. Take joy when you have just problems and when your faith is tested. It's not pleasant, but it has a pleasant result, right? But it's not pleasant when it's going on, right? So I want to come off of kind of yesterday what we talked about, how God never called anybody to just do something easy. He never said, here, go do this, and it's going to be really easy. Everybody's going to cooperate. There's not going to be any roadblocks. You're not going to have any problems. You're not going to have any questions. Nobody's going to try to stop you. He never said that. He said, okay, I'm going with you. Let's go. Let's go. Matter of fact, several people He told, it's going to be difficult. He told Jeremiah, they're not going to listen. They're just not going to listen, but you tell them anyway, because that gives them the opportunity to make a choice to trust me. So you tell them anyway, even though they're not going to listen. They're hard-hearted and they're hard-faced and they're stubborn. And he says, but tell them anyway, because it gives them a chance. And Moses, he said, Pharaoh's not going to listen, but go anyway. All right, it's going to be hard. We're going to do all these miracles, and then he'll eventually let you go. But it's not going to be an easy road. It's going to be hard. You know, he just never told anybody it was going to be easy. So I was thinking about that. I was thinking about how we have His peace, and I thought of this scripture, and it's in John 16:33. Now He is preparing the disciples for His crucifixion. He's telling them, this is going to be, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to leave. You're going to be scattered. You're going to leave me alone, but I'm not alone because my Father is with me. Now, that's in verse 32. And He's like, I just want to prepare you that things are fixing to get really tough. Things are going to be hard here real soon. So He's preparing them. He didn't just leave them out there and go, oh, I didn't tell you all that. My bad. No, He's like, things are going to be difficult here in just a little bit. It's going to be very, very hard for you. Goodness. And He says this, He says, I have told you this so that you have peace in me. What? He said, I'm telling you that things are going to be difficult so that you'll have peace. Does that make any sense? Does that give me peace when He tells me things are going to be difficult? Maybe, right? He says, so he's saying your peace is still in me. But listen to this next part. So He says, I'm telling you these things so that you have peace in me here on earth, here on this earth. You will have many trials and sorrows. That's a promise we don't quote a lot. You know, those little promise books, you get these little the promises in the scriptures. This one's never there, right? It's never that you never pull out the one and go, in this earth you will have many trials and sorrows. That's a promise. You can take that to the bank. We're going to have trials. We're going to have sorrows. But then listen to the next part. He says, but be of good cheer or take heart because I have overcome this world. All right, and He hasn't even done the deed yet. He hasn't even gone to the cross and taken back the keys to death, hell, and grave and all that, right? And so He's saying, I've already overcome all of this, right? But here's what I want to talk about. He says, I'm telling you this so that you have peace in me, even though in this world you're going to have struggles. Even though in this world you're going to have trials. Even in this world you're going to have sorrow. They are not mutually exclusive. He doesn't say, if you have sorrow, you don't get my peace. If you have trouble, you don't get my peace. If you have difficulties, you don't get my peace. He's like, I'm telling you so you have peace. You have peace in me. You're going to have struggles, but you still got peace in me. You're going to have difficulties, but you still got peace in me. You're going to have situations that are beyond what you can even fathom in your brain. You're going to have situations that get out of hand. You're going to make mistakes, but you still have peace in me. He's saying, he's like, be of good cheer. Take heart. I've overcome this world. And they're not, peace and struggles are not mutually exclusive. You can have, just because you're in the middle of a struggle or a battle or even a temptation doesn't mean you don't have peace. Jesus was tempted and He was the Prince of Peace. So He always had peace, right? He was tempted, but He still had peace. So even if we're tempted, it doesn't mean the peace goes away. If we make a bad mistake, a wrong mistake, the peace doesn't go away. It may interrupt our ability to let it rain and our ability to fully trust him, but it did not go anywhere. God didn't change when we made a mistake. God didn't change when we made a dumb decision. God doesn't change when we have a great loss, or we go through sorrow, or we go through a storm, or we go through a struggle, or fill in the blank, whatever you relate to right now. It does not exclude us from having his peace. As a matter of fact, he's saying, I'm telling you these things so that you have peace while you have sorrow. You have peace while you have struggles. You have peace while you're going through this, right? He's preparing for that. And he's like, I'm telling you this so you have peace. You can hold on to this peace. And he's telling him, I'm going to go to the cross. I am about to die. And they're not quite getting it, right? And he's like, I'm going to die. I'm going to go to the cross. I'm going to pay for the sins of the whole world. I'm going to be gone. You're going to be scattered. But I'm telling you this so that you have peace. He's saying, when you're going through all of this, when your world just seems like it's been turned topsy-turvy, upside down, sideways and backwards and every which way but loose, right? When your world looks like it's collapsed on you, it feels like it's pressing in on every side, and it just fill in the blank with whatever you're going through right now. When all of that happens, I'm telling you, you still have peace. He doesn't say, we make a bad decision, I'm taking my peace back. You don't follow, you do something dumb, I'm taking my peace back. No, God's not like that. He's actually assuring them. He even knows Peter's going to deny him in a minute. It's just another chapter or two that Jesus is about to be arrested, and Peter's going to deny him 3 times. Right? He knows this, and he's saying, I'm telling you, it's going to be hard, but you still got my peace. He knows they're going to be scattered, but you still got my peace. He's reassuring them that in the middle of the mess, his peace is still there for us. We can hold on to this. And I love it that it's all one verse. I'm telling you these things so that you have peace in me. Our peace is in him. It's not in our circumstances. It's not, we can be in a middle of a war and have peace with God. And that trumps anything, right? I love it that it's all in one verse. I've told you these things so that you have peace in me. Here on earth, you will have trials and sorrow. But I'm telling you, in those trials and sorrows, you still got peace. I love that about God. He doesn't exclude us because we forget that we still have his peace. There's no exclusionary statements. There's no, peace lasts for everything except this or except that, or unless this happens or unless that. He's like, I'm telling you right now so that you'll have peace in me. You're going to have sorrow, but you still got peace in him, right? You're going to have struggles, but you still have peace in God. You're going to have many trials. He didn't just say you're fixing to go through a trial. He said you will have many trials. That's a promise in the Bible you can take to the bank. You will have, but you can take the promise before that to the bank too. I've told you this so that you have peace in me. It can be both. You can have struggles and peace. You can have trials and peace. You can have sorrows and peace, because that peace is found in him, and he does not abandon us in any of our trials, in any of our circumstances, in any of our problems. He won't abandon us. We've still got him, so we've still got peace no matter what. This is going to be the scripture. I'm going to meditate on this scripture all day. I may just write it out and think about it all day long, because it can be both. It can be both. You can have his peace in the middle of a storm. You can have his peace in the middle of the struggle. You can have his peace in the middle of life's craziness. We still have his peace. I love that about God. And that's why I'm going to peace out. Peace out. I hope I said something that made sense. I'll see you again tomorrow.